So earlier today, Russian speedrunner Dimeax got an insane new world record on Minecraft 1.14 RSG. Not only is this the first sub 20 on this version, but it beats the previous record by a whole minute and 15 seconds, which is a huge cut. First and foremost, you guys gotta go support Dimeax for this one. He's one of the most dedicated speedrunners out there, and he deserves all the support he's gonna get for this crazy record. I'm gonna link his Twitch and his YouTube in the description. At the time I was writing this video, he hadn't uploaded the run on his channel yet, but once he does, I'll pin a comment linking it. Huge congrats to Dimeax for this one. Now, let's take a look at what makes this run so crazy. By the way, only a small percentage of our viewers are subscribed, so it would mean a lot to us if you could help us out and click that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Thanks. So if you're not new to our channel, you know we've done videos like this before about 1.16 speedruns. 1.16 runs have been insane recently because there have been such massive cuts, from the first sub 20 on any version being set by The Sizzler in August, to 22 different runners having a verified sub 20 run today, and with the record being pushed down to an insane 14:36 by Curryway. But before 1.16 made speedruns way more optimizable, 1.14 was a big breakthrough as the fastest version to speedrun Minecraft. I'm going to take a minute to go over the difference between 1.14 and 1.16 runs, and give a brief rundown of the context of 1.14 runs. If you're already familiar with 1.14, skip to this time. So 1.14 runs were mainly popularized when Dream started speedrunning the version, although the main people pushing the record down in early 2020 also included Illumina, Benex, and Dimeax himself. However, like I said, Minecraft speedrunning really started to grow in popularity when Dream started vying for the record. The record was pushed down many times in the winter and spring, with the big breakthrough coming when Benex got a 22:18 on May 29th, which was the first 1.14 run to beat Illumina's overall random seed record from 1.7. 1.14 was officially the new fastest speedrunning version, but it was still a slim margin. The record had only been beaten 3 times since then, by Dream in June, Corbanos in August, and Curryway in October. And that's where the record stood on December 27th, a 20-minute, 45-second run by Curryway. Meanwhile, 1.16 speedrunning was blowing up because of its accessibility and its opportunity for new low times. Let's take a look at the differences between 1.14 and 1.16. So, the big change that made 1.16 faster was the addition of piglin bartering, where players trade gold to piglins for ender pearls. In 1.14, the fastest way to get pearls is by trading with villagers, which is a more slow and complicated process. Essentially, how it works is that you gather a ton of wood, craft it into sticks, and trade the sticks to fletchers for emeralds. You use those emeralds to trade with a cleric until they're leveled up enough to offer you ender pearls. Now, when I say a ton of wood, I mean several stacks of logs. So as you can imagine, mining these with an axe takes a lot of time. The way to get this much wood quickly in speedruns is to use TNT, which you acquire from desert temples. There are 2 viable places where there's a high enough concentration of wood that 9 TNT will get you enough: Savannah villages and dark oak forests. Savannah villages are more convenient because the villagers are already there for you to trade with, but if you find a dark oak forest near a village, both work perfectly fine. Probably the most frustrating aspect of these speedruns is the fact that once you level a cleric up enough, there's a 1 in 3 chance they won't offer an ender pearl trade. Because villagers can only trade during the day and there's not enough time to gather the wood on the first day, this part of the speedrun is always on the second game day, meaning runners are at least about 15 minutes into the run. As you can imagine, getting that 1 in 3 sucks. But as you probably guessed, that didn't happen to Dimeax. So, the main difference from 1.16 is that in 1.14, there's a lot less flexibility in what makes a good run. You can get a really good speedrun without even a village on 1.16, but on 1.14, you 100% of the time need a desert temple, a village, and if it's not a savannah village, a dark oak forest. Add that to the struggle of finding a lava pool, because there are no broken portals in 1.14, a nether fortress, a nearby stronghold, and getting a quick dragon perch in the end. So, you can see why 1.14 is a lot slower. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into Dimeax's run. First off, I just want to point out that this run came about 3 minutes after he started doing runs on stream, which is always a great feeling. He mentions later in the run that even if it's not a great run, it'll be a good warm-up for him. He spawns on the edge of a taiga biome, which might seem like a reset, but since he's right next to an ocean, he knows he might as well boat out and see if there's a good biome nearby. He finds a shipwreck with a lot of iron, which is a helpful time save, but he considers resetting here because he's 2 minutes in and he doesn't have any of the structures he needs in sight yet.
I'm not sure if this is worth trying. There's no more ocean.
Luckily, he continues, finding a desert village which he uses to get food and beds. He finds a lava pool, and while he still hasn't found a temple or a place to gather wood, he decides to enter the nether, since if he doesn't have a good nether, there's no point in continuing anyway.
Alright, so 5 entry. We're at 1,000. Holy shit. This might be a good run, actually. I mean, we still need a temple, a fortress, and a savannah village, but... at least the fortress is there.
So as he mentioned there, he's on a good pace entering the nether, and since he's already so far from spawn, he could be pretty close to the stronghold. Add that to the fortress spawn, and he's on a great pace, as long as he can find what he needs after the nether. Now if you're not aware, Minecraft single-player worlds have 5-minute lag, meaning about every 5 minutes there will be a big lag spike in the game. If you're not prepared, it can really mess you up, but in this case it was just kind of funny.
Alright, Herobrine is about to kill me. Nice one.
Since Dimeax is on 1.14, he wants 8 blaze rods, so he can craft 14 Eyes of Ender and a brewing stand for the villager trading. He has solid drop rates in this run, getting 8 rods and 7 blaze cycles, with really good blaze cycle speed, meaning it took a relatively low amount of time for each group of blazes to spawn.
It was like a 3-minute nether, although I was going for 8 blaze rods. It's really, really good.
Because he has to wait till the second day to trade his wood, he can now get a jump start on collecting the wood before the first day even ends. That is, assuming he finds what he needs. Obviously he does, finding a temple and a dark oak forest, and even finding a closer village to the forest so he doesn't have to run all the way back to his first village. He loots the temple, and as he's running to the forest, turns off his music, which is how you know it's getting serious. He's very efficient where he places his TNT, and gets more than enough wood before heading to the village.
Holy shit, we have so much. Oh my god, this is really a place.
Now it's time for the trading, which might be the most tense part of the run, because that 1 in 3 chance of not getting the pearls looms large when you're on a good pace like this. But no such bad luck this time. A couple of nice things about trading with villagers in speedruns, which benefit Dimeax here, are that you can easily use your excess emeralds to trade for both extra ender pearls and a bow and arrows, which allows for faster travel, less stress about eyes breaking, and a much more consistent end fight. Dimeax is out of the village at less than 16 minutes, and while he runs into some pretty bad terrain, he uses his extra pearls to save probably close to a minute. Now, it's time to find the stronghold, and it turns out that when he traveled so far from spawn, he traveled in exactly the right direction.
Oh my god, it's not far, I think. Oh my...
He locates the stronghold almost immediately, putting the run on a world record pace by a lot. For comparison, Curryway's former world record doesn't start digging for the stronghold until over a minute later. Dimeax finds the portal room really quickly and enters the end at 18 minutes. Because of his bow and arrow, he can very quickly destroy all the end crystals. He's still gonna go for a 1 cycle here, just because it's much faster, but it should be noted that even if he fails the 1 cycle, he can still get a really good time here because all the crystals are gone, and he still has a bow and arrow. But now, the dragon comes to perch, and it's all down to Dimeax's 1 cycle.
What's this perch? Oh my god, this is sub 20. This is sub 20. That's sub 20. That's sub 20. That's sub 20. Oh my god. Oh my...
He gets it skillfully with 5 beds, which is really hard, completely clutching out the new record. Now as you can see, his timer said 2017, but he was saying it was sub 20. That's because the record is based off of in-game time, which is tracked by this lower timer here. The reason his in-game time is so much lower than his real time is because he had some long loading screens when entering the nether and the end, and because he tabbed out multiple times to adjust his render distance, neither of which count towards his in-game time. So, that's the story of how Dimeax retook the 1.14 world record with the first sub 20 in the version's history. It was an insanely good run, and incredibly deserved, and again, huge congrats to Dimeax for this one. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, be sure to show your support by liking the video and commenting down below. If you want to see more of these, be sure to subscribe. That's about it for this one, so I'll see you in the next video.